Chapter 30. Is it true? The cook asked, a gleam of admiration in his eye. Nikolai smiled humbly. You mean about old Maxim? Exactly. I know you got your quota of barrels, but I also heard that you brought in 8 cartloads of water in one day. Nikolai shrugged his shoulders and kept on smiling. That's 16 barrels of water, preacher man. Nikolai knew that Pito wasn't making fun of him. The name sounded more like a term of endearment coming from Pita. That's right. It's more than I ever imagined or managed before. Ha! Pita grunted. I hear it's a record. More than anyone ever hauled in one day. That's so? Nikolai knew he had to share the whole story with Pita. He couldn't let Pita think that it had been his doing, or even old Maxim's, for that matter. If anyone would understand, Pitcha would. I can't take credit for all that water I hauled yesterday. Pitcha stared at him with raised eyebrows. That's right. You see, I'm a man of prayer, Pitcha. After those 2 years in the box, I learned to depend on God for everything. He helped me deal with the pain and hunger. He gave me peace of mind when I needed it most. And I thank Him especially for life. I owe Him my life many times over. So your God helped you haul all that water? How did He do that? By giving old Maxim super amounts of stamina and energy and inspiration. Strength enough to go all day, running constantly without even stopping to eat, and inspiration to do it in the first place. A little water was all he had, and a few carrots I brought along for him. Petya shook his head. Well, I did find the part about the ox almost unbelievable. Does the warden know all this? I don't think so. I didn't tell him. He didn't ask. Petya sat on a stool staring at Nikolai. Did you ask God to do that for you? I didn't ask him to do that specifically for me because I didn't know it was possible. Nikolai shook his head. But I did ask my God to help me find some way to haul enough water so I wouldn't have to work on the Sabbath. So your God came up with this, huh? Pretty neat. Petya looked pensive. Does your God help everyone who asks? Everyone who comes to him in faith? Everyone who seeks him with all their heart and soul and mind? And that's what you do? As a Christian pastor, I must say I have always done that by his grace. There was silence in the kitchen for quite some time. The only sound that could be heard was the sound of the hot kitchen stove popping and snapping as it slowly cooled for the night. Would he do a thing for me? Would he do just such a thing for me? Petya asked earnestly, and Nikolai could hardly believe his ears. Here was a man wanting God to come into his life and touch him. This man was asking the essential question of every seeker who had ever come to Jesus. What must I do to be saved? Nikolai went to bed that night inspired and energized for another week. What the week would bring was anybody's guess, but one thing was for sure, he would have more time this week, so he wouldn't have to kill himself or Maxim. He wouldn't have to run the ox into the ground every day to get the water he would need. This week, he would need to bring in 70 barrels of water in 6 days. Earlier than usual the next morning, Nikolai was in the barn hitching Maxim up to the cart. But strangely enough, Maxim was in no hurry to get going.